All right, so introduce yourselves.
My name is Ben Watkins. I portray character Judge for Steamworks and Shadows, the web series.
All right, you?
And I'm Kevin Purvis. I play Jacob McManus for the same web series.
All right, so what is all this?
Well, basically, we're doing a steampunk web series that is based in a universe that we created that is steampunk inspired. And we wrote a story, and we're going to do 9 episodes worth of story to put into the web series.
All right, and where will people get to watch this?
They'll need to go to youtube.com/Airship Vindus. That's the name of our steampunk crew that is kind of putting this production together. Although we're creating this universe to be a lot more open after we get through this first season, we want other people to create characters within it, make their own stories, make their own videos, and be able to submit it to us and us get it out there for our fan base to see and help exposure for independent filmmakers that are interested in the same thing that we are.
Nice. And you guys make all of this yourselves?
Yes, I do a majority of prop making. Kevin also does a lot of the prop making. We kind of have 2 different styles, but I think that complements the way that we can kind of expand on the world. And every crew member that we have on our staff makes their own costumes, makes their own props for their character, and does all their own character design. And then as a collective, we write these stories and character interactions to make something interesting for people to watch.
Awesome. So what's the crown jewel of your collection? What was the hardest thing to make that you're most proud of?
For me, the hardest thing to make for me that is probably my jewel is my crossbow shotgun.
All right, where's this at?
All the way over there. It's not the prop that took the longest, but it was the hardest to figure out, just in concept of how to take a shotgun and give it a crossbow, and still make it look like one convincing piece. The stake on the end was a later addition to make it look more like a monster hunting piece of equipment, and then through taking it around and carrying it around, the arms were not as strong as I thought and broke, so I had to put hinges on them so that it would be foldable for transport. So this is my crown jewel because it has the best paint job of any prop that I've done. It was the most unique concept of anything I've ever done, and it was the biggest pain in my butt because I had to figure out how to make it look like all one piece, and not just a cobbled together something or other.
Yeah. That's great. So what else do you have here?
And a lot of these props are going to be featured in the web series. Obviously, we make our costumes and props, and then we want to put them on film. This one here is an automaton head or face that one of our characters wears as a trophy for knocking the head off of an automaton that was trying to kill all of us. And I built this in about a day and then painted it the next day. And it's built from all kinds of random parts plus the Optimus Prime mask.
Okay, I see it now.
And that's where that's at. Although people look at it and they go, "Oh, that looks like Cabal from Mortal Kombat," and then other people come by, "Oh, that looks like a Cyberman from Doctor Who." So it's like a steampunk version of whatever it is that you think it looks like. So there's that. These are some really early pieces that I did. Kind of a gas mask looking thing and some goggles, really basic steampunk pieces. And then over here on the other side, this was the most fun one to build, in my opinion. I had an old 1950s power drill that the motor was burned out, and just the grip and the case looked so cool that I wanted to turn it into a pistol. And I didn't know what the pistol was going to look like until Kevin found this. This is a real 100 caliber bullet. It's an actual 100 caliber bullet, 1 inch in diameter, and it actually fits inside the gun that I made, and that's why I made this gun, was specifically for that bullet. We hit up a lot of auctions, garage sales, Goodwill, Salvation Army, just anywhere where people are just practically giving stuff away. We find it and we can repurpose it into these beautiful props. Kevin's biggest project, he can tell you about.
So far this has been my biggest one. We've it's kind of got the nickname the anti-everything gun. And the thing is, this is not the entire gun. There's still another about 2-foot section that comes out off the end of it. This kind of started out, the first prop I made was a different gun, but it was about this size. And they were talking about my character needed a bigger gun. So I kind of started out with this project, and it's just gotten bigger since then. The biggest problem with this project was keeping it together. It got to where it would just kind of come apart under its own weight and stuff. So it's been refurbished and rebuilt about 5-6 times now.
How heavy is it altogether?
With everything on it, it's probably close to 15, 20 pounds. And that's even with the majority of it being plastic parts.
Okay. So what all is it made out of?
This used to be a Nerf gun, as well as this one. And then we have various door parts, cabinet parts. These are gas fittings. And the rest of it is a combination of like various different sizes of water pipe, or just PVC pipe. And this is like, has some radio parts on it. It has some parts off of an old air compressor. So it's kind of a compilation of many different things.
Now you should tell him fictionally what that thing's supposed to do.
Okay, fictionally, this is supposed to be a rail gun, this lower part. This will be a Tesla coil lightning bolt generator. And in the storyline, this is an aether cannon which fires what they call aether crystals, which are highly volatile, which are basically speed up and hit something, they cause a massive explosion. So that's why they deemed it, kind of got the nickname, the anti-everything.
So what are you guys doing for special effects?
We are fortunate enough that a friend of ours has the Adobe Creative Suite, and so we are fortunate enough to be able to use After Effects. We're fortunate to use After Effects for a lot of what we do. I do a lot of the special effects as far as the computer's concerned, with bullet firing and lightning throwing and stuff like that. And the internet is full of free sources of information to learn to do that. So, you know, we can make effects that look pretty good. They're not going to be Hollywood quality, but you know, it'll be an effect that for a zero-budget independent filmmaker will at least look impressive.
So where are you filming at?
Most of our filming is going to take place in mid-Missouri at various locations. We have one location out in Wichita, Kansas, for a special location. But most of our shooting will be as local as we can make it, so that we can reduce our travel costs and be able to give credit to locations that are around mid-Missouri and try to boost, you know, the fact that there is something going on out there and it's not a wasteland.
And will you be posting all episodes at one time, or will they be coming out periodically?
Episodes will come out periodically starting in September. In September is whenever the first episode will come out, and then as soon as post-production is complete on an episode, we'll get it up there as quickly as we can. And our hope is that we can put out an episode every 2 to 3 weeks, so that we can have a finished product every 2 to 3 weeks. And 9 episodes means that we'll be going into early 2014 before the last episode airs.
How long will each episode be?
We're trying to plan that each episode will run about 10 minutes. It could be a little bit more, some could be a little bit less. It depends on how much story we're trying to tell and where the story kind of breaks, and you can leave it and then return to it later. So it's a little bit organic, and we don't want to be too restrictive with every episode has to be exactly 10 minutes. We're being a little bit more creative with it.
All right, and what about your audience? Is it for all ages, or?
It's definitely going to be for all ages. We don't want to make anything that's, you know, outside of the younger generation, but we don't want to make anything that's not entertaining for the older generation either. So it's going to have a mix of a little bit of seriousness, some comedy, a lot of action, and all those elements that you find in particular short films and storytelling that is accessible to all ages and people enjoy.
All right, nice. Tell them the website again.
Website for our web series is steamworksandshadows.com. We have an Indiegogo campaign ending March 30th. Please go to Indiegogo.com, find Steamworks and Shadows, and donate to help us make this series a reality.
All right, thank you.
Thank you.